You know, one thing about me is that I love cheap and easy meals. I am a busy mother, and like many of you, my time is precious. All of the meals that I'm about to share with you pass the test of being both cheap and easy. You will see just how easy they are by watching the video, but I have also included a price breakdown at the end of the video so that you can see how costly they are and determine whether they're worth the cost. So, without further ado, let's get to it. If you've watched my other meal prep video, this first recipe will look familiar. I had actually forgotten how good these were, so I've been making them quite often again. We're just loving it, and I just can't get them off my brain, which is one of the reasons why they show up here in this video as well. These are cheap, easy, and so filling. They are super delicious. I enjoy them so much that I choose to make and eat this instead of regular tacos when we have taco night. For this first meal, I'm making bean and corn tacos. So let's head to the kitchen and get started. For this first recipe, you'll need all of the ingredients listed here: black beans, corn, cheddar cheese, flour tortilla, and taco seasoning. I'm going to start off by showing you how I make my flour tortillas. So 3 cups of flour, and I added 1.5 teaspoons of salt and half a teaspoon of baking powder. And then here I have just a stick of butter, unsalted butter, that I'm going to stick in the microwave to melt. There's the melted butter. I like to heat my water up in a tea kettle. So I'm going to take 1 cup of water, because this will help melt any pieces of butter that didn't get melted. I'm going to add that in there and then just stir it around a little bit. Okay, I think we're good. Most of that butter is melted. I'm going to bring my flour mixture over here, and I'm going to just do about half. And then once I get that all mixed in, I'm going to add the other half. Okay, so now my hands are clean, okay? I'm gonna go in here and just knead this. So I'm gonna knead this for about 10 minutes, and then what I'm gonna do is let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes. My husband and I were actually vegan for a little over a year, and that is where I learned how to cook a lot of these recipes. While these recipes aren't all vegan, I do still rely mainly on more of a bean-based diet. Being vegan actually allowed me to learn how to cook and enjoy beans. Prior to eating vegan, I actually did not know how to cook beans. I rarely ate them at all. And I am so happy to be able to share some of these recipes that have become my favorite with other people that may not know how to cook beans in a way that they will enjoy them. You could really divide the tortilla dough into however many tortillas you want to make. It depends on what size tortilla you want. I usually divide mine by 8, and then it makes 8 medium tortillas. Once you get them divided, you'll just roll them out one by one. Just make sure not to let the dough dry before you get a chance to roll it. I usually keep a damp cloth over the ones that I'm not rolling. These never turn out perfectly round, and this is a charcuterie board that I'm rolling these out on. I like to use things like that for multi-purposes. Maybe a charcuterie board, but that doesn't mean you have to use it like that. Can of beans and a can of corn. I have this taco seasoning I'm going to use in here. Just don't need too much. I'm going to go with a couple spoonfuls and some water in there. And I'm trying to mash up some of those beans too. Take one of those tortillas. I'm going to add some cheese on there. The taco beans. I got the taco. Let's try it. I'm a bit partial when it comes to tortilla wraps. I prefer the Mission whole wheat brand, but for this recipe, I don't mind eating them on regular flour tortillas. This is one that is actually better with the homemade tortillas. But it is so good with that cheese. And you can top it with whatever you want. Tomatoes, sour cream, lettuce, whatever you want in there. Go ahead and put it in. Salsa. Oh, it is so good. Another easy recipe to put together. This next one takes maybe 10 minutes from start to finish. And to give you a good idea on how delicious they are, I would meal prep these quite often and eat them just about every day for lunch. They were a staple meal prep item that my husband and I just loved. If you think you won't like them, I beg to differ. They are a must try. In fact, one day for lunch, my sister was visiting and we had planned to have these for lunch. So I fixed her up a plate and she could not believe how delicious they were. So don't pass this one over. The next recipe is chickpea and tofu wraps. For this, you will need a package of tofu, chickpeas, tortilla wraps, some toppings, and seasonings of choice. I prefer hot sauce, soy sauce, and cumin. If you've ever used tofu before, then you know that to prepare it, you need to get as much of the water out of it as possible. And usually that involves using a lot of paper towels. I'm going to show you a trick so that you're not wasting a ton of paper towels. I start off by just opening that package of tofu and draining as much of the water out as I can. And then I slice it in half. And I'm just going to put it in a frying pan and try to cook most of that water right out of there. When I made this video, I was trying to prepare the tortilla wraps at the same time while frying up the tofu and chickpeas. And I actually ended up burning the tortilla wraps a little bit when I went to warm them up. So if you do warm up your tortilla wraps while you're doing the tofu and chickpeas at the same time, just don't forget, like I did, now, I do prefer to eat these with the Mission brand tortilla wraps, as I feel like it adds just a little more depth of flavor when it comes to the taste compared to the regular white flour tortillas. I wish you could smell this. It smells so delicious and flavorful. To store these for lunch, I would put the filling in a container and then I could warm it up in the microwave and just compile it all together before eating. You can eat these with whatever topping you want. I prefer a little bit of a crunch, so I like mine with those carrot matchsticks, I think they are, the little carrot sticks cut into strips. Well, my husband prefers just eating them with a salad mix, like just lettuce or spinach. It's actually been a while since I've had one of these, but oh my, it is so good. I forgot how good they were. I also prefer eating these with French dressing. I have tried them with ranch dressing and it was just disgusting. And I do like ranch dressing. I just didn't like it here. Even if you don't like French dressing, I would recommend that you at least try it once with the French dressing. I feel like the French just adds that creamy flavor that is needed. And I don't think any other dressing would be better for this. But if you do try another dressing and you like it, then let me know. After experiencing the taste of the ranch dressing on these, I prefer not to do any other experimenting. Tofu is one of those things that can be so gross on its own, but it can be so delicious if you make it the right way. I have made some tofu recipes that just make me turn up my nose, and that is quite unusual for me because I'm not a picky eater at all. You do have to have some recipes under your belt to learn to love tofu, which is why I'm excited to share this next recipe with you. I just know you will love this one. This is another one that was on our meal prep rotation often. The next recipe we call tofu bake, and for that you will need tofu, veggies, and taco seasoning. This is how one would usually take the water out of the tofu. Don't hate on me because I'm using a bunch of paper towels. I know it's quite wasteful and I hate to do this, but I did want to show you how you're really supposed to do it. Plus, I really don't pay anything for these paper towels. They're actually given to us, so I'm not really out any money. You can use any kind of veggies for this recipe. I had a handful of them left over that I had already chopped up, so I just used those. You can use fresh veggies, whatever you have in your fridge, or you can use a bag of frozen veggies. I have tried both mixed vegetables with the corn, green beans, carrots, and things like that, as well as a mix of broccoli and cauliflower and carrots, and both of them taste well with this recipe. When I think of all of the things that I've been gifted over the years, like these tongs and this bowl and this charcuterie board that was that I won in a raffle, when I think of all of that stuff, I think of just how blessed I am, and I try to repay the favor. I just gave a friend of mine a knife set that I found on clearance. It was less than 20 bucks. But I gave that to her, and it just made her day. It was her birthday, and it was a birthday gift that I had given to her. So it's nice to find things like that on clearance and be able to repay the favor and help others gather stuff like this. Because some of the stuff that I've gotten for free, I value quite a bit. Sometimes things just don't work out the way you want them to, and that's okay. We don't waste, or we try not to waste as much as we can in this house. And that just means sometimes the parchment paper isn't perfect. This is what it looks like fresh out of the oven. You can season this with whatever seasoning you prefer. My favorite is the taco seasoning, but I have also tried it with the chili seasoning. And I like to serve this with a little drizzle of ranch dressing on the top. So all these veggies were raw. Let me show you how the fork goes right through. I had them in there like 20 minutes. You can do like a half hour, no problem. And that was at 450 degrees Fahrenheit in my oven. And next we're making pizza tortillas. You can serve this with just about any topping that you like. It's one of my favorites because of how versatile it is, but there is one way that is my all-time favorite. And I encourage you to make it this way at least once to try, and then if you don't like it, then go ahead and make it a different way. To make the pizza tortillas, I will be using tortilla wraps, sauce, lentils, onions, bell pepper, mushrooms, and dairy-free cheese. I start off by cutting up my vegetables, starting with the onion and the bell pepper, and then I'm going to steam them in a bowl with a little bit of water in the microwave. I did wash my mushrooms before chopping them up here. You can use any kind of mushrooms. These ones are my favorite because I think they have more of like an earthy taste. Feel free to use whatever kind of sauce you want or whatever you have on hand. These lentils are ones that I had cooked with some vegetable broth and onions, but feel free to use like a can of lentils. They would work well in this recipe as well. I discovered the best pizza tortilla when I was vegan, and hear me out before you diss it. I like to use the Mission brand whole wheat tortilla on this recipe. I top it with mushrooms, peppers, onions, and of course some sauce as well. And I do throw in some lentils in there too. But the secret ingredient is vegan, plant-based cheddar cheese. These are the king of pizza tortillas. The vegan cheddar cheese or the plant-based cheddar cheese has a nacho taste that is above any other cheddar cheese. And it truly is the secret ingredient to make these super satisfying. Without it, you might as well just have regular pizza. It's been 20 minutes. Okay, see? I folded it in half. All the goody stuff in there. Fold it in half. Okay, we eat it like a taco, guys. We eat it like a taco. And it's hot. Tortilla pizza. Oh, wow. It's got a crunch. It's got quite the crunch. Probably didn't have to be in there quite so long. It was in there about 20 minutes. It probably didn't need that long. But how come these meals smell so good? They just smell so good, and then they're so full of flavor. One of our favorite vegetarian meals is kind of like a classic, which is egg salad on a bagel. Now, we've all had egg salad, right? So I'm sure you know how to make egg salad. You just boil the eggs and whatnot. But let me ask you this. Have you had it on a bagel? And not just any bagel. The kind of bagel makes a difference too. My favorite bagels are onion bagels, but I also do like everything bagels. And egg salad just tastes fantastic on either of those options. My husband was one that didn't like onion bagels until he tried egg salad on a bagel. I used the egg setting on the Instapot, and the Instapot is one of those things, it's the only way I'll make eggs because they peel just so easily. So whenever I make hard boiled eggs, I use the Instapot. Okay, and then I'm gonna rinse these off. I'll use pretty much whatever mayonnaise is on sale. This is a mayonnaise that I got on sale a few weeks ago. I've been rotating through Hellmann's. I got Duke's on sale at one point in time, and this is just the kind I got on sale this time. Egg salad on a bagel. I usually eat this on onion bagel. That's the way I prefer. The store didn't have store brand onion bagels, so I got an everything bagel, which is my second favorite, and oh, it's so good. You all know that I like beans and rice, or I love beans and rice. And I already showed you in a previous video how I like to eat my black beans and rice and corn with the little dab of butter. Well, another way that I like to eat beans and rice is actually lentils and rice. And there is a certain way that I like to cook that. So I'm going to show you how I like to do that as well. And if you think, oh, I won't like that, that looks disgusting, don't diss it until you try it. While the black beans and rice and corn has like kind of a sweeter taste, and it has like that crunch, the lentils and beans has more of a savory taste. So this is definitely a must try. To make the lentils and rice, I will be using lentils, rice, vegetable broth, and an onion. I start off by making the rice. This rice I made was 1 pound. I did make a whole pound of rice here, but that's only because I had planned to make stir fry as well. I like to use this Better Than Bouillon brand for my vegetable broth. If you do use a lot of vegetable broth, then I would recommend getting something like this. Not only does it have quite a few servings in it, but it also tastes quite delicious. Then you can also just use the vegetable broth in the box. A pound of lentils is about 2 cups, I believe. So to that bag of lentils, I added about 3 cups of water. And then I went ahead and put the veggie broth in along with the onion. And then I pressure cook them in the Instapot for about 9 minutes. This is such a filling and delicious meal. After taking some rice out for some stir fry, I had a few servings left that I added to the lentils, and my husband will be taking those to work for lunch. You can use the leftover lentils in just about any dish. Some of my favorites to use it in if you get tired of the lentils and rice, they serve as an excellent base to like a stew or a soup. Or even if you want to make lentil burgers with this, that would be really easy. You just add a breadcrumb or a cracker, a couple eggs, and maybe oats, whatever you have pretty much. You need something dry, something to stick it together like eggs, mix it all together, and then fry it. And there you have it, lentil burger. As promised, here's the price breakdown for each meal. I organized it so that you have the cheaper meals first and then the most expensive at the end. The cheaper meals was the lentils and rice at 66 cents per serving. And then the most expensive meal to make would be the pizza tortillas. They would cost $2.64 per serving to make. So I hoped you enjoyed watching me make those meals. They're ones that are my favorite. And if you do give them a try, then let me know. I hope you are inspired to give them a taste. And I really hope you do like them just as much as my family does. If you did enjoy the video, then please click the like button down below. And then if you want more videos like this, then subscribe to the channel.